I think
it up a little.
I want to follow up on what you said there about being monsters out of possession and sacrificing their legs. Can they do that again on Sunday?
We're going to see, aren't we?
Game plan, or are you looking to have that kind of intensity again?
I think we have to have an adaptation to it. I think it's who we are, though. Look, Arsenal will be fresh. We have no doubt about that. But we'll have to have different game plans. No doubt about that. We can't just press for the whole 90, nor can Arsenal really. So regardless of them being fresh, so we have to be able to adapt. That's what we're going to plan and prepare for. We've already started the playing phase for it, so we'll see. But we're going to need energy.
And perhaps maybe the benefit of it being Arsenal is it doesn't take much to G the team up and have them hungry, right?
Yeah, we want to be aggressive. We're at home, so we want to. We want to continue our great start to the season, so we're looking forward to it. But it'll be a challenge, no doubt. Arsenal are currently scored the same amount of goals as us, so then we know they're a tough ask. But we believe in ourselves, so we're looking forward to the challenge. Thank you.
Just want to ask about Alessia, obviously, player who was at Manchester United. You worked with her last season. She was in brilliant form for Arsenal. She's up for the Ballon d'Or, which is obviously on Monday. Just from your perspective, watching her performances with Arsenal, how do you think she's maybe changed as a striker, and how do you think she might be a threat to you on Sunday in the ways that she's changed? Have I worded that right?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Look, Alessia was always going to progress. She's a really talented footballer. She's actually a really good person as well, Alessia. So, even after the Euros, I messaged her just to congratulate her. So, I think from our perspective, it's you got to know her talent. So I still think she's a similar player to when she left Manchester United. She's just got more experience now, of course, but she's still the talented player that was at Manchester United. I think she's gone on and she's won the European Cup with the Champions League with Arsenal. So she was justified to do what she chose in that moment. I think you have to be prepared. She can drop in. She can link play really, really well. Obviously has an incredible finishing quality. Arsenal tend to have a different strategy when they play against us, so I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see Stina in the starting lineup. But again, to work around Alessia. So yeah, look, she's a talented player, but we're going to have to try and make her defend as well as attack.
And you mentioned it there about obviously Arsenal winning the Champions League.
Yeah.
Qualified for Champions League group stage tonight. Perfect marker, I suppose, to see how you might progress in that competition is to then play the winners of that competition a few days later, right?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, slightly different this year, though, right? With the draw, because it's not a group stage where you're going to have to play different tiered teams. So, look, I'm sure it will be. Like when we come into the weekend, we'll give absolutely everything. I have no doubt about that, and we believe in ourselves. We have this great team spirit. So, Arsenal won't just be taking on Manchester United; they'll be taking on the team spirit. And then we'll see where we're at after Sunday. But I'm looking forward to the challenge of it, and I know our players will be too.
Might be too early, but do you expect Celine to be back for that game?
I'd hope so. I would hope so. That was the plan when we spoke the other day. I've not seen them today to speak. I've seen Celine, but I've not. We're in game mode. So hopefully, again, another couple of days, and she should be okay. Thank you, mate.
Tom?
Yes, Tom.
Any more news on Millie since we last spoke?
No, we're still waiting for. I think it's Friday. What day are we on? Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. She has the second opinion, so then we'll know kind of plan time frame. So I'll be able to update you after probably the game on Sunday.
And just on Arsenal, have you noticed any sort of more confidence about them since they won that Champions League? Do you think they're stronger now than this time last year?
I felt that they had the first half against London City. I felt that London City kind of got them a little bit, they rattled them a little bit. Then they showed their quality second half. I felt against West Ham they were in second gear, if I'm being really honest, and won the game 5, but I felt they were in second gear, which shows the quality they have. And I'm quite honest, that they've got a lot of quality and they've paid for a lot of quality. They were the first £1 million transfers, but you've got to be prepared for that, and they can change the game. And I think what Arsenal have done is they've invested in changing games. So even if they're not very good, they have players that can win a game on their own. And we've got to have. If we currently don't have that in terms of that depth of that quality and that investment. So we've got to make sure our team fight that, if that makes sense, and our team have to try and beat the individuals in those moments. It'll be tough, but we're going to give it our absolute best. Thank you, mate.
Luke.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, mate.
So, in terms of, you said about the progression of the team, would Sunday be a big mark if you could beat Arsenal? Because would it be fair to say you may be falling short in these games in the past?
I don't know if we've fallen short. I think they've always been competitive. Even even a look at last year, we had 2 fit seniors on the bench, and it went to 4-3 right at the Emirates in front of their 50,000 fans. So no, I don't think we've fallen short in terms of we want to win those games, but we're not miles off. And we certainly haven't yet invested the levels of money that Arsenal have. So I don't think that's the case. Hopefully Sunday we can show that again. They've stepped another gear, there's no doubt. They've gone another gear with the investment. But that comes from probably winning Champions League, right? You totally understand that. So no, I don't think we've been miles off. I think they're always tight. But let's see what Sunday brings. Let's see. I know that we'll go in and give it our absolute all to try and win the game.
And you'll have the crowd behind you, of course, as well.
And they're incredible, and at home we're different. So, we want to try and make this our fortress, even though it's the toughest of us. Chelsea and Arsenal right now are the toughest of us, probably in Europe. So, with a look at like Barca, potentially with what's going on there. So, they'll be the toughest of us, but we'll give it absolutely everything in front of our fans, and hopefully they can pull us through.
Brilliant. Cheers, Mark.
Thank you. Sorry, mate.
You kind of answered it already about not being miles off, but in terms of, you say Arsenal have invested in depth and quality, are there any other differences that you...
Just their added experience. So, because they've won the Champions League, you get a confidence from that, and so it does take them to a new level. And I've got a lot of respect for what René's done and the team have done, and I think we show that to each other when we play against each other. But I think, look, their experience, they have game-changing players of the £1 million markers. Apart from that, I always think we're close. I always think these games are close. So let's hopefully on Sunday it's the same deal, and we can give our very best shot at it.